Hello everyone, welcome to Eurostar 2025 in Edinburgh. I have Usha with me and
Hello.
she's one of our key speakers in this conference. So hello Usha, nice to see you.
Hi, Gek. Nice to see you.
Would you like to introduce yourself briefly to our audience here?
Sure. Hey, everyone. I'm Usha Kandala. I'm CEO and founder of Firebucks. We are an exclusive QA services firm based, headquartered out of North Charlotte and offices in Bangalore.
Tell me more about what brings you to the Eurostar 2025 this year.
This is my first Eurostar conference, pretty exciting. I was surprised to see the amount of delegates, the key speakers, there's deep dive sessions and the whole exhibit area. It's really amazing. And getting to speak to people from QA and learning from what they're doing with AI. And this year's topic is very, very interesting, AI on trial.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that it's quite excited to become, the speaker at your very first conference here in Eurostar. So, can you tell us more about the keynotes that you were delivering today?
Yes. So my session I had talked about was fairness and bias in testing. So this is from the QA perspective. With the advent of AI, and if you are working on AI applications, how as QA are you embracing fairness and ethical checks? So this was my topic where I kind of dived into and talked how QA teams can start leveraging different tools that are available to make sure fairness is in place.
That is quite exciting, isn't it? So, do you share any real life experience in your speech?
Yeah, so I did. All of us do experience unfair and bias when you do a couple of things. Like you walk into a hospital. I did have this experience, and when I polled my audience, they responded with similar experiences. Where did you ever feel rushed by a doctor, or were you just turned down on an opinion based on your symptom because you are a female or because you are a certain ethnic group, saying that, oh, you're not going to be symptomatic about this disease. So when it comes to bias and fairness, especially in healthcare, it's just more than being careful. It's about life at stake. So it's about trust. It's about outcomes for the patient. So it becomes more critical. That's the reason I chose the topic.
Okay, and you're very lucky, to get selected and to deliver it
Thank
here
you.
in Eurostar 2025. And based on your experience now, right, how long have you been doing testing?
Very long time. So I've been in QA for over 22 years. Really long time, and I've seen the waterfall days to agile days and how we have transitioned from just being manual functional QA to automation to leveraging AI today. A lot of teams, QA teams are leveraging AI. They're just making better outcomes for QA deliverables.
Yeah, since you have such a long, so much experience in testing, right? So you have evolved from, just being a follower and now being a thought leader, having your own company. Can you share with our audience some of your experience and help them along the way?
Sure. So when I started my career, started as a developer, writing code in Java, and then at that point, this is early 2000s, there were very less folks who had technical knowledge in QA, meaning these were the days where you didn't have your cloud, your applications had to be run locally.
Yeah.
So they wanted somebody,
On-premises.
yes, on-premise, like on your laptop, because there's no QA instance and servers were expensive. So you had like a one QA server where you actually you have to unjar your application run. And they also wanted developer support, somebody who could write and understand unit tests for the developer. So that's how my journey started into QA. And I said, I'm going to give it a year. If I don't like, I'll go back being a developer. But I loved it because I feel that if the organization allows, QA has the power to decide if your application is ready to go or not.
Yeah.
So we still have, I work with certain clients where they have go, no-go decision, which is signed off by QA.
Yeah.
Because I feel, things may change, automation may come in, AI might come in, but as a QA, you got to be the gatekeeper of quality.
We are the guardian angel of
Yes,
the software.
yes, yes.
We need to make sure it delivers what it needs to. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm also very passionate about startups. I've been consulting with really early stage to mid-sized startups for about 10 years now,
Okay.
the last 10 years, and we focus on clients in US, in East and Midwest regions. So we've been kind of embracing AI. They're pretty open to trying out AI systems and applications in QA.
So when do you really start using AI in your QA then? 10 years ago?
No, just a year or two ago.
A year or
Yeah,
two
yeah.
ago.
10
All
years
right.
is my stint in the startup journey.
When you start to become a leader.
Yes.
you
Or when
looking
since
down.
I started my company, where I
Yeah.
started working for startups, and I thought that there was a need to have a really fast-paced QA teams where we deliver faster because startups
Yes.
work on a different schedule,
Yes,
right?
yeah. Because the way is like you want to test fast, fail fast, and fix fast, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, the test cycle being too long.
Absolutely.
And the releases,
I
just
worked
fail.
in times where the test cycles lasted for months in the beginning of my career to where now it's all done in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Including
2 weeks sprint, yeah.
2 week sprints. And it's fast. You have to automate, you have to test, you have to sign off and go. So things are changing and things will change with AI.
Yeah. And how do you help other people, other testers in your company to learn about AI and use them in testing? How do you help them on that journey too?
Yes. So we actually had this brainstorming session within our team, and we came up with this idea of building our own homegrown test case generation tool because people said we have too much on our plate. We are doing. We are not able to focus on the high risk or important task like exploratory testing.
Yeah.
Then they said, hey, we want to do automation, we want to this and this. Why don't we leverage LLMs? So we actually built our own little tool because sometimes buying an enterprise tool is expensive,
very
especially with
expensive, yeah,
startups.
yeah.
So they don't want to go the enterprise way. So we built our own internal tool that kind of helps our teams and client teams generate the test cases, or even, for example, doing the code reviews. Just little bits and pieces, and we started measuring the return on investment, where we said, okay, bringing this in kind of freed up a QA engineer 2 hours per day, that is like solid 10 hours in a week.
Yeah.
And what are you going to use that 10 hours against? Are
Yeah.
you going to do risk-based testing or exploratory testing? Whereas as a human QA, you think better than an AI system.
Yes,
so it's a
definitely.
win-win, right? I feel it's not black or white. You shouldn't say we're going to use AI fully and then get rid of team members. No, that's not what AI is here for. AI is not to threaten us. AI is to enable us. Just think back 15 years ago or 20 years ago when automation was very early stage.
Yes.
People were
everybody was
worried.
Yeah, we don't need manual tester
I'm a
anymore.
manual. I'm going
Yeah.
to become redundant. No, you will
Yeah,
not.
we're going to transform a manual tester into an automated
Yes,
tester, and now we are
yes.
transforming automated tester to
Yes.
AI automated
Yes,
testers.
absolutely.
So that's the journey, isn't it? Yeah, very
Yeah.
interesting. And when you are in this conference, right, you say you hear a lot of interesting talks and insights. What leave you the most memory from this conference?
So far, I really liked Let's Test LLMs. That was a deep dive session, hands-on session on day one.
Yeah.
I attended Rags to Riches today, a deep, a session talk about how RAG models can be used, why it is one step up than LLM. So I'm trying to learn and take away. Very interesting lineups there today and tomorrow as well. Very excited. Did sign up for some deep dives. I really like how Eurostar kind of does different sets of opportunities for attendees and speakers to go and join.
Yeah, we
You
have
have
tutorials,
yes.
we have keynotes, we have deep dive,
Correct.
and we have the test lab session for folks to play around and learn a bit.
Yes.
And what I like about Eurostar is that through the Eurostar conference, I get to network with many thought leaders in QA, including
Yes.
you, and find new opportunity to collaborate and
Yes.
To contribute to the QA committee here.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was really good. And you mentioned about LMS. You built your own tools, and you was trying to convince people the return of investment. What kind of metrics do you use then?
Yeah, so that was a tricky part. In fact, I hosted a table today to talk about how are you measuring return on investment in AI. Lot of
Implicitly or explicitly?
exactly.
Yes.
Lot of people came back. There was a poll, and somebody responded that they're using for their automation code self-healing or to do their code reviews. So I think as QA, we'll have to come down. It is a more of a process level where you say, what am I doing today without using LLM or a RAG, and kind of put that in your process. What's the time taken? A ballpark estimate.
Yeah.
And then when you implement your tooling or you start leveraging AI more in different areas throughout your test life cycle, then go back and say, what is the time reduction? So, one way of measuring is that, especially because we are not looking at a product standpoint, because we're looking as a QA usage standpoint, it's not about break even, how you would measure in terms of cost.
Yes.
But if internal teams are building their own QA tools, right? These are not full-fledged products. These are small tools that you're building so QA can leverage AI and do better at their job. So
it's just like sometimes how we write our own little small scripts in Python. To help us, to do some day-to-day chores without the repeatedly doing.
Correct. And now you can ask. Now you could be asking JetBrains, tool or other tools to write it for you. You don't have to write it.
Copilot.
Yes, use Copilot to write it, and Replit is another great tool that will help you write code. So things are going to change. It's just that how we embrace and how we want to make it work for us fairly is the point.
So how do you see AI will be helping you in the next 6 months then?
So from management perspective, sometimes I feel when I'm overseeing a QA delivery, I want to kind of do more to our clients within the limited time. So one, use where you can. Maybe use it in your test life cycle phase. Use an AI tool to generate test cases, to improve your quality of automation, to do code reviews, right? Sometimes you're stuck because you're waiting for somebody to respond back to your code review, and and then maybe a basic review comes back. So use AI there so you can have faster review cycles.
I think that is quite helpful, isn't it? To have that. Right. If anyone wants to engage with you further down, right, about talking about AI and testing, or even learn from you how to get your speakers presentation to be accepted and present in Eurostar conference or other conference, how can we reach you then?
LinkedIn is the best mode. I'm on LinkedIn pretty active. I also mentor QA engineers if somebody is trying to get their foothold into QA. I also kind of support leadership for startups. I'm also part of a firm called Entrepreneur Studio, which is based out of Dublin. I advise I'm on the startup committee advisory. So reach out on LinkedIn. You can just search.
You can see her name here.
Yes. And
drop her email or message.
Yes, I'm also working on a bias and fairness in ethical AI project that I felt I would like to reach out to people from different countries outside of US to understand what it means in your country in terms of governance, in terms of usage of AI. If you're using AI, is bias an important aspect? So if you want to kind of give me some inputs on that, want to collaborate, please reach out and I'll be happy to connect.
Very nice. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
See you later. Bye.